Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the situation with Dandadan and the voice actor, one of the voice actors, leaving social media in the wake of the backlash to the blackwashing of the characters. So that's the whole thing. We did a video on it. There was a fan artist who blackwashed characters from Dandadan.
Those two, Momo and Okaron.
Right. And then we had some Japanese Twitter users, ex-users, call them out for it, and it became like a whole big thing. And then one of the voice actors decided to stand up for the fan artist, and now because of that backlash, they've left Twitter, X, whatever.
Probably on Blue Sky.
Probably on Blue Sky, right?
So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into any further.
Before we get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Check out clownfishminus.com for exclusive content and merchandise. And also that content is mirrored on clownshishtv.locals.com. All right, so the story thus far. Do we have an image that we can show? Yes. This particular piece of fan art caused all kinds of problems.
Yeah, so apparently a 16-year-old artist, they claim they're 16 years old, did this fan art piece, and like you see with other fan art pieces where we've seen that people did, even professional art where they made the characters too light skinned, they got accused of whitewashing. Here they completely race swapped them out to darker skin, and they got accused of, blackwashing. But apparently one's okay and one's not, So it ended up this whole firestorm. But the Japanese, one person and then a bunch of people from Japan were jumping in saying that they weren't okay with this. But you remember, the only people who are allowed to be offended by any of this stuff, people who have darker skin. Everybody else, too bad for you. As I said before, and I still stand by this, if someone's a fan artist and they want to do fan art like this, or like the Sailor Moon characters done ethnically diverse or whatever, I have no problem with it. Like, to me, and I've said this before, even when there was the whitewashing videos, I was like, so what? You know what I mean? It's like, you're mad about them making the character too light. Meanwhile, people are taking white characters and making them other races, and that's fine too, as long as you're doing it as a fan art thing. And I'll stand by that. The problem is the behavior around it. Is the issue. Like, a fan artist wants to make it that way, who cares? It's the issue. The issue becomes the behavior. And that's what we're going to talk about, is the behavior around it. Yeah,
because, as some people pointed out, there have been some very high profile incidents of accusations of cultural appropriation. I know.
Yes, that's where I'm at. What's good for the goose should be good for the gander.
Right. The Animal Crossing incident from a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, the Afro poofs or whatever.
The Afro poofs, the space buns / Afro poofs, and it became such a big deal that Nintendo had to issue a statement and say, no, anybody can have any hairstyle they want to have in a game. It's not cultural appropriation. Just calm down. And so that's what's going on. Basically, I think it was, this artist was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And
I think people got tired of everything being like, if artists do characters like Nessa and stuff like that, and it's too light skin, and then there was whole groups trying to descend upon these artists and get them canceled for whitewashing, quote unquote, even though they still were clearly not white, the characters. Then it's understandable why people on the other side are going to be like, what the hell, when you do it the other way? Because if you're getting in trouble for whitewashing, why should you not get in trouble for blackwashing? Personally, I think either argument's stupid, but I can understand why people would be really upset given the reaction to things that weren't that bad before, that were supposedly whitewashing, quote unquote.
Yeah. So anyway, this ended with one of the voice actors,
Okaron's voice actor, giving support to the artist, and then apparently they got on him, and he left Twitter. So this is come from comicbook.com. Dandadan VA deletes social media after fan backlash. One of the main English voice actors deletes social media following racist. Okay, whoa. See, this is where I'm pissed. This right there. That's the issue. Fuck this. Sorry, Mom. Here's the issue. Like I said, I honestly don't care if people take Sailor Moon and make her black or whatever, or do this for Dandadan characters and they're fan artists and they just want to do different interpretation of them. I don't care about that. What I care about is that we have the word racist, because it's absolute bullshit that you're racist if you don't like this swap, but it's not racism if someone whitewashes and you're mad about that. That's what I'm mad about. The double standard. Because frankly, the Japanese people aren't happy with it either, and they're Asian. It's their culture. But doesn't matter. Fuck them. Only one group is allowed to scream racism and be upset about it. That's what I have a problem with. It's bullshit. Like, honestly, I don't care what you do across the board. It's the behavior around it. And if that's racist, then so was people. So was whitewashing. The whole whitewashing incident. That people were mad about that, then they're racist too, because this is bullshit. If one's racist, so is the other one. That's what I'm mad about, because the double standard has to end. You can't say it's okay if fan artists, blackwash everything, but don't you dare whitewash. No, you can't have it both ways. That's the problem.
So, yeah, AJ Beckles changed his profile picture to the blackwashed version of Okaron and apparently got all kinds of backlash. He said the caption, they have to make sure, X, formerly Twitter, with the caption, new profile pic is the fire emoji, thank you, Lynn. Some supported the artwork. Many fans immediately turned on AJ Beckles. The voice actor has since deleted his X account, most likely in response to the overwhelmingly and aggressively hateful comments under the post.
Again, the double standard. Like, you're all these outlets and stuff are all like, yeah, you shouldn't whitewash these characters. It's so wrong, even though you could still tell they're ethnically not white in the pictures. How dare you? That's racism. Then they do it and make it blackwashed. And anybody who doesn't like that, anybody who didn't like the whitewash are just. But anybody who doesn't like the blackwash, including the Japanese, the characters Japanese, are racist. See, that's the bullshit. That's what people are mad. If they make comments, it's because of the double standard. And personally, I don't care either way. It's the behavior around it that is the problem.
Yeah.
I don't care. Lynn made this picture, but the people that the characters are the Asian did.
So, I mean, regardless, 94.8 million views. It's like, damn. Again, I think Lynn was in the wrong place at the wrong time, because there has been just years and years and years of examples of people. Now, I don't think Lynn was shoving it in people's faces and be like, look, I fixed your shit.
I don't think so either. I think it was just fan art. I don't think it was that there was any ill intent. And I don't think that Lynn should be harassed because it's fan art.
And we have seen examples of that. And that's what I'm talking about. But because of people doing that, like, I fixed your shit, I changed your skin tone, that finally, the art is more progressive and more diverse and blah, 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 right? And we've seen this for a long time. And, Lynn stepped into it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though, too. It was really stupid of the voice actor of Okaron to post this when he knows the people that the character's Japanese, and he knows that the people from Japan are upset about it. It was very dipshitty of him to go ahead and make that his profile picture, because he wouldn't normally not even care to see it, but because it was a hot button issue, he went and did that. And then, of course, he was going to get backlash for it. Because what makes me mad is the people the representation, the character's Japanese. So the representative of the Japanese Asian culture. So you turn around and you make them black, and then you're acting like they're racist for not liking it. And then, so you just basically took a character who was Asian. Asians are upset about it. People from Japan specifically are upset about it. And then you turn around and use it as your profile picture, and you just pour kerosene on the fire. And then you're like, it's all because of racism. How come it's racism if people that are Japanese don't like it when it's their representation? But it's not racism when a black person doesn't like someone makes a character lighter skinned like Nessa. And they're mad about it. Then they're right to be mad because how dare that racist artist? You know what I'm saying? It's not fair. It's not you enforce it evenly, or you just be like me and be like, it's fan art. Who fucking cares?
That's pretty much it. And I think for those of us who have been watching this whole thing for a while, I think people are allowed to have their opinions. I think you're allowed to have your political opinions. But what we've seen in the last several years is uneven enforcement of, especially from companies. Like, if one person gives the correct opinion, whatever's trending at the time on a political issue, and somebody else has a contrary opinion, they fire the person who's not trendy.
Yeah.
And, case in point with the Gina Carano situation. Like,
don't even get me started on
Rachel
that one.
Zegler can say whatever she wants, anti-Israel, whatever she wants.
She had about Free Palestine up on her thing, and then they're mad about Nazis, anti-Semitism out of Gina Carano. And then they let Rachel Zegler put that up, and then she still has it up, and that's fine. She can get her ass fired. It doesn't make any sense.
So what needs to happen if you are a professional working in the industry or whatever is, I think you're allowed to have your opinions. I think you need to make it very clear that your opinions are your opinions, And if your company tells you, hey, no politics, no religion, no whatever, this is a condition for working for us, then you need to shut the fuck up.
But it needs to be evenly enforced.
Yeah.
That's the key, is evenly enforced. And that's what I'm mad about, because it was really, that basically was a hot button image, and he tried to latch onto it to, like, you know, probably get for attention. He got the attention he wanted, just not the way he wanted it. And it was bad because, I mean, it's like you're talking about the Japanese people that character is their character. It's representative of them. They were not okay with it. And your answer was to go and put that as your profile picture.
Yeah,
you know, that was really stupid.
I am guessing he saw the situation, was like, man, this kid's getting dogpiled.
And I agree. It's a 16-year-old kid, and it was his fan art.
But the thing to do in that, you know, especially since you're a dub actor of a Japanese produced show. A Japanese produced show. And right now, dub actors are on thin ice because Japan is like, yeah, we can just replace them with AI. We can actually use our Japanese voice actors and use AI to have them dub the lines themselves in English. You're on thin ice right now. I wouldn't be pushing it. I'd just be like, hey guys, you know, appreciate the fan support, whatever, both sides. Could we cool it down a little bit? Yeah,
he could have been like, you know, it's just fan art. It's not a big deal. Yeah. You know, it's like, I don't think any disrespect was meant, you know, stuff like that. And that could have diffused situation. No, instead, he puts it as his profile picture, and then this is fire, and then just throws fuel on the fire, which wasn't very smart. I think he was trying to do something nice, but I think it just. But then this article is like, everybody who doesn't agree is racist. That's what ticks me off. It's like, they're not. So the people who whitewash characters are racist, and the people that are upset about it are in the right. People who blackwash characters are in the right. The people that are upset about it because it's their reputation are the racist. This doesn't make it, you know. Somebody else, to go back up, they said, here, I hate to say it, but maybe he should get fired from his current VA role. His conduct was unbecoming a professional who only sought to use his role to supplant the Japanese creators of the very show he was privileged not to play in English.
Yeah,
I don't think he should be fired, but I think it was stupid.
I think that here's the thing. I think of all, you know, we talk about AI, and we got another video, you know, coming up today talking about AI. Again, English voice actors, international voice actors are on very thin ice right now. I think you need to. I mean, this is the kind of the same thing that happened with Genshin Impact, isn't it? The voice actors were throwing support behind people that were calling for darker skinned characters in a new region of the game, even though it was a fictional country. They're like, oh, it's supposed to be Africa, obviously, or whatever. And, you know, the publisher, MiHoYo, wasn't real happy about that because they're like, your job is to just say the words, right?
Right, it's not your job to say anything.
The developers, we do that, you know. And yeah, I think he might actually wind up not getting as much work because the Japanese companies could be like, yeah, we don't want him.
Because people are telling you they're not okay with that piece of art. That's the next person. Anyone saying bad stuff about him actually knows nothing about everything. He's the nicest, most listen. He's the nicest, most respectful person who's passionate about his work in anime. Met him at a con once, and he was a cool guy who loves his fans. So you don't know him.
A lot of these.
I mean, I'm sure he didn't mean anything by it. I'm sure he is probably nice. I'm sure it wasn't. I think he stepped in it. That's what I think. I don't think he was malicious. This is one other case of where intent matters. You often hear from us, we'll say intent matters. And I think that in the fan art, I don't think anybody was intending to be disrespectful. They just wanted to do something fun and different. And that includes the whitewashing or blackwashing in quotes. I don't think intention was there to ruin anything for anyone. I don't think his intention was to be, you know, disrespectful. I think he was just trying to find a way to, you know, support the artist because he thought that the artist was getting unfairly dogpiled. Intention matters. But the problem is this whole double standard of what's considered racism and what isn't is absolute crap. And places like comicbook.com are perpetuating that. And that's what I have a problem with.
Yeah. So Beckles is black. I didn't know that.
Well, that makes some more sense to why he was doing that.
I mean, I can see why he would do it. But then the flip side of that is, well, how come we have an Asian person voicing?
I know, right? You're supposed to be able to. You have to stay in your own lane, aren't you?
Well, that actually came up because apparently he was weighing in on the discussion when they were yeeting the voice actors.
And what did he say then?
I don't think what he said was terrible. This is back in 2022, 2021. This is when, you know, again, we had Disney basically pushing out white voice actors from black roles, and the first couple were voluntary, but I got the idea that not everybody was voluntary, right? They just, like, it was trendy, they had to push everybody out. But he said in 2022, he said every time there's a black actor cast in a role In fantasy, where the source material version is lighter skinned, someone always has something to say about it, so tiring doesn't affect the character, so whatever.
Which I agree. I think anybody should be able to voice a character. Yeah. If you're the right person for the character, it shouldn't matter. You shouldn't have to look just like the character, identify just like the character. That's ridiculous.
The reason white people, okay, this is 2021. This is when we were like, everybody was getting fired. We covered it.
So he had another comment to make in 2022. Right, okay.
Yeah. So he said the reason white people in most cases shouldn't be playing POC isn't a matter of color. It's culture.
Oh, well, this is an Asian culture. It's completely different than yours.
Speaking for black people, we know, okay, so yeah, he's a black guy. So we know what a barbershop sounds like on Sundays, what a hot comb smells like when it's going through our hair. It's not the color, it's the culture.
But it doesn't matter if it's other people. Like, it's okay for him to play an Asian guy, which honestly it is. I have no problem with it personally. I'm just saying, by his logic, he shouldn't be allowed to play the character he's playing as it is. So I guess I kind of can see why he put that up, because he is a black guy. Maybe the artist made the image because she knew that, which is fine too. That's not the problem here. I don't really care that she made the image. And I said that before. I think fan art should be left alone. If someone wants to race swap a character, gender swap a character, whatever, it's fan art. Who cares? The issue here is that everybody's running with this double standard, and that's what I have a problem with. Like, if it's not okay to whitewash a character, it's not okay to blackwash a character, and if people are getting called names and being called racist and stuff because of it, and I don't think it's fair to call Japanese people who are upset racist because they didn't want to see the character blackwashed any more than it's okay to say that, like, making a character lighter skinned and that people being mad about it are racist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, in this case, I mean, maybe she made the art because she knew he was black.
That could be.
And that could be what the reason was. I don't think it was. I've been saying since the beginning, fan art's fan art. I don't think it should be this. It should be attacked either way. But he stepped in it on top of it, and then he's calling everybody else racist. But he himself said that light skinned people shouldn't be playing POCs. And then he's fine with it when he can play an Asian character. That's the problem.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're never gonna.
Oh, and he is on Blue Sky.
Yeah,
by the way.
Of course he's on Blue Sky now. But like, you're never gonna know what it's like to be a Japanese high school student, right? You're never going to understand what
it's like to be them.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And in fact, I watch shorts that come up sometimes because I watch like one person about something in Japan, and now like I get recommended all these shorts on YouTube about living in Japan. But they basically said it doesn't matter how long you've lived in Japan. If you're not Japanese, you will never fully integrate into the society. You're never going to fully understand it. If you weren't raised Japanese, you can do all the studying that you want to do. But it's like, and it's not a racist thing. They're just like, our culture is our culture, and if you're not from here, you're not gonna.
Right, that's what basically he's saying. White people can't play a POC because they don't understand like the stuff we understand. It's not the culture, and I'm like, but you had no problem playing a Japanese character, and then. That's my thing. On the end of the day, I honestly have no problem with him playing a Japanese character. I don't have a problem. I think he's the right guy for the job. He's the right guy for the job. That's just it. I think voice actors, it doesn't matter what race you are. If you are the right voice for the character, who the hell cares? Well, you're perfect for the character. We said that completely the whole time. Fan art's fan art. Been saying that the whole time.
Case in point, we were at one point in time, for reasons, we were looking for a voice actor for Ren, for Crimson Ren, the adult version of Ren. And we did a blind, we went through a whole bunch of different voice actors and their demo reels. And the best fit, literally the best fit, were like, that's the guy, was a black dude.
Yeah. Because we don't care about that. Like,
he did the best job.
I think whoever is the best person for the job should get the job. I don't think it should be based on what you identify as. But I think it's ironic. I guess my thing is, it's highly ironic when this person was saying that, white people can't play black characters because they don't understand black culture, is playing an Asian character. Yeah. And then when Japanese people are mad, when they're mad about the race swap, his answer was to put it in his bio. I put his profile picture. Because he's a black guy, and that's fine, except for the fact that you can't have it both ways. Like, you have this double standard, and that's what's not fair. Like, me personally, fan art's fan art. I think people are getting overreacting massively on fan art, which I've mentioned many times when we do these videos. I think the overreaction is ridiculous. However, if one isn't okay, then the other isn't okay.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Like I said, I think this person just stepped into a situation after years of school marms basically lecturing people on, race swapping and skin tone and blah, 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 blah. But I did not see them shoving it in people's faces. Now, if you can show me a post where they're like, hey, racist, does this trigger you? Then yeah, I'll be like, okay, you're.
Well, they
you're
comment
baiting.
under
You're baiting.
his. And comments under his. I just get angry people saying it's the fandom's fault. I don't want to be included with the category of weird incels who attack VAs.
Weird incels?
Weird incels who attack VAs. And everything else. It's like, but at 10 to 1, these are the same people who are okay with, they think it's wrong that black characters are maybe made a couple shades lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you cannot. You have it both ways. And
can we just knock this shit off across the board? Can we just fucking knock it off? Seriously, could everybody just shut the fuck up, sit down, talk it out, have a decent conversation about the issues and not
you can't because of this comment. In the fandom where I was for a while, we reported, blocked, and limited the participation of these types of people to avoid poisoning the community. That's the thing. So this is what's going on. These people come in, and the Dandadan's a new thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But the people that Okaron is representative of didn't like it, but they're the trash, right? Like Star Wars or She-Ra or whatever. What they do is and Dungeons and Dragons, they come into something, they decide it's theirs. And then if you push back in any way because they're full of crap and they're being rude, they say you're the ones that are bad. They block you, report you, and limit you from participation and gatekeep the fandom so that only them and their friends and their opinion are allowed into it. That's the problem. Why are people going so hard the other way? Murdoch is because of the behavior you gave on the other side of it.
Yeah, it's you push the pendulum hard in one direction.
You can't have it both. You cannot have it both ways.
Always. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yes.
It is a Wednesday, a typical Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's a guy. I mean, I don't think there's any ill intent from either the artist or the voice actor. No. Just like I don't think there's any ill intent about this Splatoon character or the Nessa drawing or anything else. And if one's racist, they both are. And I'm tired of hearing this shit. Voice actors can be whatever they want, and they can be whatever they identify as and play characters that aren't like them, and that's fine. But you can't say that it's not fine to some people, but it's fine for you. The double standards have to stop.
Yep. So let's wrap it up, guys. There it is. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.